Dear students, today we are going to understand about housekeeping purchasing. After completion of this, you will be able to understand about definition of purchasing, the principles of purchasing, types of purchasing. Purchasing. Purchasing is a process in which includes buying of materials and equipment needed by various departments of an organization to ensure continuity in product production and supply of essential services to the guest. Purchase department must be highly responsible to the organization needs in terms of quality, price, and delivery. The expenses for housekeeping purchases are planned in advance, mainly in the form of a capital budget or an operating budget. The purchase can be of local or imported item. Efficient purchasing includes the process of buying, learning of the needs, identifying purchase locations, selecting best supplies, negotiating for best price, and other related tasks, such as to ensure deliveries in time. Different properties have different procedures for processing and approving purchases. The evaluation of what is needed for the housekeeping department is decided by the executive housekeeper. Principles of purchasing. There are 5 primary principles of purchasing that need to be upheld by the housekeeping and the purchase department. That are: right quality. The department needs to buy the best products. Value for money is the factor in each of the product supplies to the guest room and public areas. The entire range of items has to meet the standards and specifications determined by the department and the hotel management. Right quantity. Placing a purchase order of the right quality is of utmost importance for any organization. The following factors should be kept in mind while ordering the right quantity of material. 1. The cost of the order being placed. 2. The cost of storage and carrying charges for holding stocks. 3. Quantity discount. 4. Stock level and order point. 5. Buffer stock. 6. Budgetary controls. Right price. An in-depth knowledge of the market is vital to make sure that the right price is being paid. While calculating the right price, showroom, the station of dispatch, discounts, packing, duties, taxes and so on should all be considered to arrive at the gross price of the item. Right time. The material should be made available at the right time. Lead time should be minimal. The total lead time includes the supplier's lead time plus internal processing, clearance, receipt and inspection time should be minimum. Right source of supply. The right source of supply is critical to the executive housekeeper. If the source of supply is correct, right quality, quantity, price, and time are a natural consequence. Types of purchasing. Various types of purchasing methods are used in hotels. A single purchasing activity may also be a combination of several types. Some of the methods are: formal purchasing or competitive bid buying. Formal quotations are invited from sellers against the written specification for each item to be purchased. These requests for bids may be made through newspapers or other publications. The usual practice is to accept the quotation of the lowest bidder unless the products fail to meet the specifications. Wholesale buying. In this method of purchasing, the contract is signed with a wholesaler for the purchase of items at a specific price. Negotiated buying. This method involves negotiation between the buyer and the seller regarding the price and quantities. This method is generally used for items that are in limited supply. Contract purchasing. This method is similar to blanket order purchasing, except that the agreement is long-term and the supplier are therefore not changed frequently. The buyer receives only those brands which are produced or sold by the contractor. This method of purchasing is most commonly used for the purchase of housekeeping supplies. Blanket order purchasing. A blanket order is an agreement to provide a specific quantity of listed items for a period of time at an agreed price. If the price is not settled at the time of placing the order, a method of determining it is included in the contract. The blanket order method is best for items that are required in small quantities but more frequently and where the usage rate cannot be accurately forecasted. Stockless purchasing. In this case, the buyer does not keep the stock of goods ordered. The supplier warehouses them for the buyer instead. The inventory is thus owned by the supplier. Purchase by paid reserve. In this case, the buyer does not keep the stock of goods ordered. The supplier warehouses them for the buyer instead. The inventory is thus owned by the supplier. Total supply purchasing. In this type of purchasing, all the required items are supplied by a single supplier. This helps in reducing the paperwork, and negotiations need to be done with only one person. Cost plus purchasing. In this method of purchasing, a supplier buys all the commodities and provides them to the housekeeping department. The supplier is given a small commission for this. Centralized purchasing. This type of purchasing is done mainly by the chain hotels. They purchase items for all their main properties together. This method helps them to source the items at a cheaper price as the quantity of the order is more, resulting in economy of volume. Standing order purchasing. In this method, daily supplies are fixed for perishable items such as flowers or groceries. Cash and carry method. This is the method of purchasing where the items are purchased from supermarkets so that the prices are competitive. There are no minimum order level orders of certain items in case of non-availability of delivery services. Purchasing from van sales. This method is rarely used for purchasing in the housekeeping department. In this method, purchasing is done from mobile shops which move from one place to another. Weekly or fortnightly purchasing. In this type, purchasing is done only weekly or fortnightly. This ensures regular availability of the items and makes the supplier's prices more competitive. Daily market purchasing or petty cash system. In this method of purchasing, item quantities in the store are checked on a daily basis and only items falling short are purchased. This method operates as a petty cash system. It is effective for purchasing small order from local market in exchange for bill so that a cash payment is made. Cash-on-delivery buying. The ordering system involves payment on acceptance of delivery. The order may be placed over the telephone or through the internet. Check payment ordering. This is a purchase order and draft system. It is a combination of the order and a blank check for payment. Besides the product's specification, the order also contains delivery instructions, bank account number, unit price quantity, discounts if any, and terms of payment. Auction buying. This method is useful for purchasing furniture and equipment that are not obsolete. Sometimes certain export shipments that were rejected by the originally intended buyer are also auctioned to other buyer. Thank you.